Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something that most people fear. Doing it alone. I know, it sounds terrifying, doesn't it? The thought of walking down a path without anyone beside you, without anyone to guide you, without a safety net to catch you when you fall. But I want you to hear me out, because doing it alone isn't something to fear. It's the key to unlocking the greatest version of yourself. Think about it. The world we live in today constantly tells us we need others to succeed. Get a mentor, they say. Build your team, they say. And while there's wisdom in those things, there's also a power in doing it alone that no one talks about. Solitude doesn't mean loneliness, it means freedom. Freedom to trust your own decisions, freedom to chart your own path, and freedom to discover who you really are. The power of solitude is often underestimated. In a world that constantly bombards us with noise, distractions, and demands, the idea of spending time alone can feel like a daunting and even intimidating task. But let me tell you something. Solitude is where you find your true power. It is in the quiet, the stillness, and the moments when it is just you and your thoughts that the most profound transformation happens. I have experienced it firsthand, and I've seen countless others experience it too. When I look back on the pivotal moments of my life, I can trace them all back to a period of solitude. It wasn't when I was surrounded by people. It wasn't when I was part of a big crowd. And it wasn't when I was living in the comfort of external validation. It was in those moments when I was completely alone, with no one else to lean on, no one else to guide me, and no one else to make decisions for me. It was in those moments that I had to dig deep within myself to find the answers I was looking for. And it was in those moments that I realized I had everything I needed within me to move forward. Solitude forces you to confront yourself, your fears, your doubts, and your limitations. But it also gives you the space to connect with your deepest desires, your inner strength, and the truth of who you really are. When you're alone, there's no one else to please. There's no one else to tell you what to do, how to think, or what's best for you. It's just you and your dreams, you and your goals, you and your vision for the future. And when you're alone, you have the freedom to make decisions based on what you truly want, not on what others think you should do or who they think you should be. Solitude teaches you to trust yourself. It teaches you that you don't need external validation to feel confident in your decisions. In fact, it's often in those moments of isolation that we find our most brilliant ideas, our most creative solutions, and our most significant breakthroughs. It's like an artist sitting alone with a blank canvas. There's no one else in the room to distract them, no one else to impose their opinion on what the painting should look like. It's pure creation. And the same is true for your life. When you allow yourself the space to be alone, you open the door to new possibilities. You begin to realize that you don't need anyone else's permission to move forward. All you need is your own courage and belief in yourself. When you are constantly surrounded by other people, it's easy to lose sight of your own path. We're often caught up in the noise, comparing ourselves to others, or feeling the pressure to live up to external expectations. But solitude brings clarity. When you step away from the distractions of the world, you can hear the quiet whispers of your heart. You can hear what you truly want, what you truly need, and what you were truly meant to do. It's in those moments that you can make the most significant strides in your life, not because you have all the answers right away, but because you've given yourself the space to discover them. There's an old saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. It may sound counterintuitive, but the truth is that the fastest way to get to where you want to go is often the solitary path. The journey you walk alone is the one that allows you to grow the most. It allows you to tap into your full potential and realize just how much you are truly capable of. When you're not waiting for anyone else to catch up, when you're not looking for anyone else's approval, you can move forward with unwavering confidence. Solitude is not a hindrance. It's a tool for personal empowerment. I know that sometimes we're afraid of being alone. We fear the silence, the stillness, but let me tell you, it's in the silence that you will find your voice. It's in the stillness that you will find your purpose, and it's in those moments of solitude that you will discover what you're truly made of. So Don't shy away from being alone. Don't run from the quiet. Embrace it, because it's in those moments that you will experience the greatest growth. You will find out just how strong you are, how capable you are, and how much power you hold within you. When you allow yourself the freedom to focus solely on yourself without distractions, without the need to please anyone else, you begin to tap into the greatness that's always been inside you. You begin to see that you're not dependent on others for your success. You're the one who creates it. You don't need anyone else to tell you what to do, because you already have the answers. You just need the courage to trust yourself and the discipline to take action. The next time you find yourself facing a challenge or feeling uncertain, don't be afraid to do it alone. Don't wait for someone to help you. You are stronger than you think. You have everything you need within you to succeed. And when you finally recognize that, when you embrace solitude and give yourself the space to grow, you will see just how powerful you really are. Overcoming doubt and fear is one of the most significant obstacles we face when we decide to go it alone. It's normal, it's natural, and it's part of the human experience. But I need you to understand something vital. Fear is a liar, doubt is a thief, and it will rob you of your potential if you allow it to. The very moment you decide to step out on your own, to forge your own path, the enemy of progress will begin whispering in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, and that failure is inevitable. I've been there. I've felt the weight of fear and doubt pressing down on me, making every decision feel like an insurmountable challenge. There were days when I questioned whether I was truly capable of accomplishing my goals. I wondered if I was just fooling myself, if I was setting myself up for a fall. But here's what I've learned. Fear is not a sign of weakness. Fear is a sign that you're about to do something big. If you weren't on the verge of something significant, fear wouldn't bother to show up at all. The key is to understand that fear is not your enemy, it's a signal. It's an indicator that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and into the unknown, into the realm of possibility. The moment you feel fear rising, that's the moment you know you're about to break through a barrier. You're about to push past something that's held you back for far too long. The fear is simply a sign that you're about to change, to grow, and to transform into someone greater than you were before. But here's the trick. You cannot let fear control you. Fear thrives on indecision. It feeds on uncertainty. If you allow yourself to sit in your doubt, to dwell on what might go wrong, you'll stay stuck in a perpetual cycle of inaction. You have to move despite the fear. You have to take action even when your mind tells you to stop. You have to silence the voice that tells you it's too hard, too risky, too dangerous. Because I promise you this, on the other side of that fear is a version of you that is more confident, more capable, and more empowered than you could ever imagine. And then there's doubt. Doubt is the poison of potential. Doubt will convince you that you're not capable, that you don't have the right skills, the right resources, or the right opportunities. But let me ask you this. How many times have you doubted yourself and yet found the strength to push through? How many times have you questioned your ability only to discover that you had more inside you than you thought? You see, doubt is often just a sign of your own growth. It's your mind trying to protect you from the discomfort of stepping into new territory. But new territory is exactly where you need to go. New territory is where growth happens. I'll tell you something that I learned early on. Doubt is not the enemy, it's the messenger. It's here to tell you that you're moving into uncharted waters, and that's exactly where you need to be. You see, when you move past doubt, when you choose to trust yourself in the face of uncertainty, you break through to a new level of power. You silence the inner critic that tells you you're not enough, and you tap into the deep well of confidence and potential that lies within you. When I was starting out, there were countless moments where doubt crept in. There were times when I thought I couldn't go any further, when I felt like the path was too difficult, too unclear. But I kept moving forward. I kept putting one foot in front of the other, and every time I did, I realized that doubt was nothing more than a temporary barrier, a fleeting shadow. It wasn't a permanent roadblock. It was just a part of the process, a necessary step on the path to greatness. The key to overcoming doubt and fear is simple. You have to trust the process. You have to trust that even in the moments of uncertainty, even when it feels like everything is falling apart, you are exactly where you need to be. You are growing, you are learning, and you are becoming more than you were yesterday. The doubt will pass, the fear will subside, and what you will have on the other side is a version of yourself that is stronger, more resilient, and more equipped to handle whatever comes next. So when doubt creeps in, when fear rises up, don't fight it. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. Understand that every time you move through fear and doubt, you are stepping into your purpose. You are carving your own path. And you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. You are transforming into someone who doesn't wait for permission to succeed. You are becoming someone who makes the decision to rise above fear, to push through doubt, and to embrace the power that lies within you. And I'll tell you this, you are more than capable. You have everything you need inside of you to succeed. The doubt and the fear are just stepping stones on your journey. They are not the end. They are the beginning of something great. So when doubt comes knocking, answer the door with confidence and keep moving forward. You are not alone in this. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has had to walk through the fires of doubt and fear to get there. And you too will come out stronger on the other side. Embracing the journey of self-discovery is one of the most profound and transformative experiences you can undergo. You see, when you go it alone, there's no one else to rely on, no one to give you answers, and no one to tell you exactly what to do. But that's where the magic happens. It's in the solitude that you uncover who you truly are. It's in the silence, in the moments of reflection, that you begin to understand your deepest desires, your greatest strengths, and your unique purpose in this world. When I first began my journey, I didn't have it all figured out. There were so many questions, so much uncertainty, but it was only when I chose to embrace that uncertainty, when I chose to stop looking outside for answers, that I truly began to understand who I was. Self-discovery is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process. It's something that evolves as you grow, as you learn, and as you take action in alignment with your true self. But that can only happen when you stop searching for validation from others and start trusting your inner voice. It's easy to get caught up in the opinions of others, to seek approval from those around you. Society has a way of telling us who we should be, what we should do, and how we should live. But in the pursuit of others' expectations, we often lose sight of what truly matters, our own inner truth. That's why solitude is so powerful. When you're alone, you're not distracted by what others think or say. You are free to explore your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own desires. You begin to realize that the answers you've been searching for have always been inside you. Self-discovery isn't always comfortable. It can be difficult to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. It's hard to confront the insecurities, the fears, and the doubts that lie within. But here's the thing, you cannot heal what you do not acknowledge. The process of self-discovery often requires us to dive into the depths of who we are, to peel back the layers and to confront the truths we've been hiding from. But in doing so, we open ourselves up to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our potential. It's like an artist revealing a hidden masterpiece beneath layers of paint, or a sculptor chiseling away at the stone to reveal the beauty within. As you embrace this journey, you begin to notice things about yourself that you may not have seen before. You begin to recognize patterns, habits, and beliefs that have shaped your life. And with that awareness comes the power to change, to grow, and to align your actions with your true desires. Self-discovery is the key to unlocking your full potential. When you understand who you are, when you truly know your strengths and weaknesses, you are no longer at the mercy of outside influences. You become your own creator. the architect of your own future. But this journey is not always easy. There will be moments of doubt, moments where you question whether you are truly on the right path. There will be times when the road feels lonely, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, and when the fear of failure looms large. But let me tell you this, it is in those very moments that the greatest growth happens. The road to self-discovery is not a smooth one. It's filled with bumps, detours, and challenges, but it is through overcoming these challenges that you discover your true strength, your resilience, and your capacity to achieve what you once thought impossible. As you continue on this journey, you will begin to see that self-discovery isn't just about finding out who you are, it's about becoming who you are meant to be. It's about aligning your actions with your purpose, living with authenticity, and embracing the person you were always meant to become. You will start to notice how the world around you shifts. When you step into your true self, you begin to attract the opportunities, relationships, and experiences that are meant for you. You don't know how it goes? You become a magnet for success because you are no longer pretending to be someone you're not. You are living in alignment with your highest self. And remember, this journey is not a destination, it's a lifelong process. As you evolve and grow, you will uncover new layers of yourself that you didn't even know existed. Self-discovery is an ongoing adventure, one that takes you deeper into your own heart, into your own soul. Each step you take brings you closer to understanding the fullness of who you are and the incredible potential you possess. So, don't rush the process. Don't try to force it. Trust that every step, every challenge, and every moment of solitude is a necessary part of your growth. The more you embrace the journey of self-discovery, the more you will come to realize that the most powerful person in your life is you. You are the one who holds the key to your future. And when you truly understand that, when you embrace your authentic self with open arms, you will become unstoppable. The power of focusing on yourself cannot be overstated. In a world that constantly pulls us in countless directions, it's easy to forget that our greatest resource, the thing that will ultimately drive our success and happiness, is within us. We're so often told to look outward, to seek validation from others, to live for the approval and acceptance of the world around us. But let me tell you this, true success, true fulfillment, and true peace all come from within. When you choose to focus on yourself, you're making a commitment to prioritize your own growth, well-being, and happiness. And when you do that, something incredible begins to happen. You start to realize that you are in control. You are in control of how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to the world around you. No longer are you at the mercy of external circumstances. No longer do you need others to tell you who you are or what you're capable of. When you focus on yourself, you tap into a well of potential that you may not even have known existed. In my own life, there was a time when I was caught up in the opinions of others. I spent so much of my energy worrying about what people thought of me, what they expected from me, and how I could meet their expectations. But over time, I began to realize that I was living for others, not for myself. I was chasing dreams that weren't truly mine. I was living a life that wasn't aligned with my true purpose, and as a result, I felt unfulfilled, disconnected, and lost. But everything began to change when I made the conscious decision to focus on myself. I stopped seeking validation from others and I started looking inward. I took time to reflect on my own desires, my own strengths, and my own dreams. I stopped asking for permission and started trusting myself. It was through this journey of self-focus that I found clarity. I began to understand that I had the power to shape my own life and that all I needed to do was take ownership of my thoughts, my actions, and my decisions. This isn't to say that you should ignore the needs of others or cut yourself off from the world. It's not about being selfish or abandoning those around you. It's about recognizing that in order to truly serve others, you first have to serve yourself. When you take care of yourself, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, you are in a much better position to offer your best to the world. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not filling yourself up, if you're not nourishing your own mind and soul, then you'll have nothing left to give. The more you focus on your own growth and well-being, the more you have to offer to those around you. One of the most liberating things I've learned in my own journey is that focusing on yourself doesn't mean you're being selfish. It's actually an act of strength. It's about setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and making choices that serve your highest good. By doing so, you create the space for your own transformation. You create the conditions for your success, and you position yourself to show up as the best version of yourself, not just for you, but for others as well. When you focus on yourself, you begin to break free from the distractions that have been holding you back. You stop comparing yourself to others, and you stop letting the opinions of others dictate your actions. This is such a powerful shift because comparison is the thief of joy. Every time we compare ourselves to someone else, we rob ourselves of the unique beauty and potential that is inherent in who we are. The moment we stop focusing on other people's paths and start focusing on our own, we unlock a new level of freedom. We realize that we are enough, just as we are. We don't need to measure up to anyone else's standards. We only need to measure up to our own. Focusing on yourself also means making space for self-care. It means prioritizing your mental, emotional, and physical health and recognizing that your well-being is just as important as anything else in your life. Too often, we give ourselves the least amount of attention. We give to others, we work, we push ourselves, but we forget to recharge. When you focus on yourself, you're reminded that rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation are not luxuries, they are necessities. Taking care of yourself is not indulgence, it's an investment. It's an investment in your future, in your productivity, and in your happiness. When I made the decision to focus on myself, I began to make different choices. I started saying no to things that drained me and yes to things that fueled me. I started surrounding myself with people who supported my growth and distancing myself from those who didn't. I stopped waiting for the perfect moment and started taking action. I stopped looking for approval from others and started living in alignment with my own values and vision for my life. The more I focused on myself, the more I realized just how powerful I was. I was no longer waiting for someone else to change my life for me. I was creating my own path. It's so easy to get distracted by the chaos and noise of the world. We live in a society that constantly tells us what we should be doing, what we should be wearing, how we should be living. But the truth is, none of that matters if it's not aligned with who you are and what you truly want. The only person who can define your success is you. And the only way to truly achieve your potential is by focusing on yourself. When you do that, you unlock your true power and you step into a life that is fully authentic, fully aligned, and fully yours. Focus on yourself, embrace who you are, and watch how your life begins to shift. Because when you invest in yourself, you set the stage for extraordinary transformation. You become the creator of your own reality and you begin to live a life that is truly yours. One that is filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment.